Hello, hi, Puneeta here. I am just switching on my other phone, so give me a second. And in any case, it takes a couple of minutes for everyone to get online, right? We're not online at the same time, unless we are a self-isolated army, which we are. So give me a second. I'm just going to go online on Instagram. So I have two devices running at the same time. Yeah, that's how we roll. And we will be talking about foods that heal, right? It's been a hard few days, I gotta say. We are on day 8 here of our self-quarantine, very aggressive self-quarantine. Okay, so my Instagram phone is switching on now. So hello again. I am on Facebook and on Instagram all at the same time because I'm high-tech like that. I'm not at all high-tech. And I'm hoping this connection is stable because I am outside the house. I'm in the backyard, so I'm not really outside the house, which is important for me to say because we are self-quarantined, very aggressively self-quarantined. So I'm in the backyard and it's a nice day today. If you haven't been outside, open your windows, get outside. It's nice outdoors today, though the weather is kind of, it's cooling off now and the blue sky is covered by clouds. So in any case, we're here on Instagram, on Facebook. Tell your friends, we're talking about foods that heal right now. But before we jump into that, I wanted to quickly talk about how things are going. So how are things going? Let me know. We are on day 9 of our self-quarantine since we got back from vacation. I see Facebook, there's a whole bunch of people there, so hello. Hi. Instagram, not very many, but then my connection, right? So we're on day 9 of self-quarantine here, so we're not going out, stepping outside at all, outside our house. I'm in my backyard right now and it is greening up a little. We're pretending that it's spring. I don't know. Fingers crossed that it's spring soon, because apparently the news tells us that when everything warms up, the virus will magically disappear. One step at a time, one step at a time. So the other thing I'm going to share today is one good thing. So maybe let's start with that. So the one good thing that is coming about of all of this self-quarantine for us is that I'm hydrating more. I'm drinking more water. I'm drinking enough water. I'm drinking more than 8 to 10 glasses because every time I walk by a sink or walk by the kitchen, which is pretty much all the time, I am drinking water. So yay, one good thing. So let me know what your one good thing is. If you have a bunch of things you want to share, let me know. So 5 spices, and most of these, some of these maybe, you might even have them in your pantry because they're not really scary ones, right? Sometimes spices can be scary. So these are non-scary spices that if you don't have them in your pantry, then add them to your next grocery delivery list because these are the ones that historically, traditional Indian wisdom tells us these are the ones that help with phlegm. They help with congestion. So we need all of that, right? Even if we're not sick with the big C, we're all kind of congested. It's going to be spring season, allergy season soon enough. And so, so these are the congestion busting, phlegm busting spices that I often use in my cooking. In fact, nowadays I'm cooking with them all the time. In fact, I'll share at the end this thing that I've made that uses all of them. So these are the spices we need in our life right now. So and they don't include turmeric, right? Oh my god, the turmeric. How can turmeric not be included in the 5 awesome spices, right? But turmeric is great, right? And it's anti-inflammatory, immunity boosting. So many of us know about it though. So these are the spices that you may not have come across, so you may not know that they are awesome as well. While turmeric is the superstar of the spice box, hashtag superstar of the spice box, these ones are pretty awesome. So I'll start with cumin. So I've got cumin here, and I've got this in a jar right here. I'll share with you what they look like and then what they taste and how you can use them. And if you have any questions, just keep asking. I've got a few people. Hi, Chef Luciano, nice to see you. Hi, Priyanka. There's a few other people on Instagram. There's a few people on Facebook, and it's lovely to see you. So let's chat about spices. So to recap, we're talking about 5 spices that are phlegm busting, congestion removing, awesome spices that we all need to cook with in the times today. So I've got cumin here. So this is what cumin looks like. These are mostly seed that I've got. So cumin is one of my favorite seeds. You can roast it and grind it and add it if you don't like the texture, or if you're cooking a stewy, liquidy dish, or even marinades, you can add them whole. They're pretty great, and they look like these brown seeds that I have in a giant jar in my pantry all the time. Hi everyone on Instagram. I've got a few people here, but the scroll is kind of hidden, so we'll talk about spices. And so I've got cumin. I've gone through the cumin. I've got a little tray here that looks pretty. The next one I have here is one that looks like cumin, but it isn't. It's called ajwain in Hindi, and it's the English version is bishop's weed. That I did not know till I moved away from India. That means nothing to people outside of India, right? I always thought bishop's weed was the English name for ajwain, but right? So it's often called aniseed. It's a cousin of, it's basically the seed of the celery plant, and the aroma and texture is very similar to cumin, but the flavor, it's much sharper and very unmistakable, I want to say. So this is what it looks like, and I'll actually share individual pictures of all of these. So here is hi Shailesh, nice to see you. Shembra VP asks, is this considered an Indian spice? Well, ajwain is considered an Indian spice, but really with globalization and foods growing everywhere, I don't want to call it an Indian spice, and then if you see it in a Middle Eastern and a Lebanese kebab, you'll be upset with me. It's a spice, and these are all spices that are often used in Indian food. And they're good for us. They bust the phlegm. So I've got that here for the people on Instagram. So that's so far we've done cumin seeds, and we've done ajwain, which is also called bishop's weed. Both of these are often available in Indian stores. Hi Kirti, nice to see you. I've got people on Facebook as well. So the third spice that I've got here is called saunf. And let me show you what it looks like. So for the people on Facebook, that's what this looks like, and folks on Instagram. So saunf is actually often used raw. It's eaten as a digestive, and it's quite delicious. It's a mouth freshener. It's great for getting rid of bad breath, right? Well, there's no kissing happening here, so right. Social distancing, hashtag 6 feet away. But saunf is, in English, it would be fennel seeds. So these are the seeds of the fennel plant. Most of these spices are seeds, and they help get rid of the congestion and the phlegm that is often associated with, hi Sanjeev, nice to see you here. It's often associated with ways that we can get rid of phlegm and flu, cold, upper respiratory tract infection, the big C. These would help with the symptoms. I'm not taking any sort of a stance on, hey, let's cure anything with these spices, but they will help relieve your symptoms. I gotta say that. The fourth one is another one that starts with C. It's cinnamon, It's familiar. It's the bark of, well, the cinnamon tree. It comes in different forms. You'll see it in these rolled up forms, as well as like barky plain pieces. They're different varieties, and if you Google it, if you make the mistake of Googling it, there are people who well, there's a whole bunch of people on Instagram and Facebook. So hi. I'll answer all the questions afterwards. But there are people who are on one side of the cinnamon brigade and a few on the other who talk about how the rolled up ones are not as awesome as the barky ones. It's all the bark. It's all bark of the same type of tree, even though they're different varieties and they're grown in different areas. The flavor is a little bit different. The texture and flavor is a little bit different. But they're both great. So whatever cinnamon you have, add it to your food. And then the last one is one that, well, my husband, who's also watching, does not really like, is black pepper. It's a very strong flavor. This is what it looks like. It's the tiniest little black pepper for people on Instagram, and on Facebook, well, I did it the other way around. So this is what it looks like, and you grind it and you sprinkle it on. A little goes a long way. It has a very sharp taste, and it's actually it helps get rid of the phlegm, and I've said that a few times, and I'll recap at the end as well, and I'll recap in the video. But these 5 spices are kind of the ones I've been using ever since we got back from Mexico, and we've been quarantined at home and making healthy, sensible choices around food. I'm adding these in everything that I can think of. So I've added these in a whole bunch of curries, in stews, and I'll share the stew that I've made with leftover frozen and then thawed ham right here. And I put it in the grilled chicken, in the orange grilled chicken that I make often. I put it in my Instant Pot lentils. I've got a recipe for that on Maple and Marigold. So all of these videos will be hosted on Facebook and on Instagram. So if you think someone you know would benefit from this information, share away. If you don't want to share, that's okay too. But use these spices, because these 5 spices, so I've got cumin and ajwain, which is bishop's weed, fennel seeds, which is sauve, and dalchini, that's cinnamon, and black pepper. These are great for loosening up some of the phlegm that we have going on, and it also helps with digestion, because my grandfather used to say that the phlegm eventually ends up in our belly and it needs to come out one way or the other. I know, TMI. But yeah, well, let me know if you have questions about any of these spices. I see a whole bunch of questions that have come up already. I just don't know how to scroll, because right, I'm a blogger, but I'm technologically challenged. So hope this was useful, and I will be doing a video every day. Well, the plan was to do one every day, and then yesterday I thought, oh, it's the weekend, it's Saturday. But really, the weekends, weekdays, it doesn't matter, right? So I will be sharing a video and sharing something about foods that heal every day. If you have questions, or if you think I should cover a particular topic, or maybe a recipe. The first video was a recipe on granola. This one is on spices. But if you think I should cover something in particular, let me know in the messages. Hope this was useful. Take care. Bye.